Well, hey guys and gals, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first visit, welcome. Please check it out, take a look around my channel and see if you like anything. Consider subscribing. My name is Matt Samolski. I'm Matt the Car Guy, and on this channel I do car reviews. I try to get a little bit of everything. I try to get some new cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, and this is actually a first minivan that I'm reviewing. I decided to review it for a couple reasons. First, it is one of the few remaining minivans that are still in production. There's only a handful that are still manufactured. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. Second, I have a personal story to tell you about Honda Odyssey and my family, so stay tuned for that. We're going to take it on the tour. We're going to take a look on the exterior of this vehicle. We're going to check out the interior, the cargo space. We're going to take a look underneath the hood, and then we're going to take it for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. We're going to start right in the front here of this vehicle, and you know, it's a minivan, so there's not much that you can do about making this minivan cool. As a matter of fact, I saw a t-shirt one that said, hey, I used to be cool, but now I drive a minivan. And now I disagree, because Honda engineers worked really hard to make this look cool. Now take a look at this. I mean, it looks like a sporty, modern minivan. It's got nothing of that old feel. It's got a beautiful, nice chrome trim above this big bold grille on it. It's got a big Honda logo where all of the Honda sensing technology hides. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Another piece of black trim right underneath here above that bottom spoiler piece. And look at this. This is the turn signals as well as the fog lights. So kind of a three-piece section right here. And this big multi-reflector LED lights with this signature LED, kind of a hockey stick signature light for a lot of Hondas right now. I want you to take a look at this windshield right here too. That's a big part of this vehicle. It adds to the visibility, and visibility is absolutely great when you're driving it. So we've done with the front. Let's take a look on the side. Okay, so what's underneath the hood? I mean, underneath the hood you'll find this Honda engine that it shares with the Pilot, with the Ridgeline, as well as the new Passport. And this is their 3.5 liter engine, V6, 280 horsepower. Now this one has made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. I haven't driven it, just in the parking lot, but I expect the drive to be very nice and smooth because of those 10 gears. It is very economical. It does have the VCM, which is variable cylinder management system. Basically it cuts off at the cruising speed. It cuts off up to a half cylinders, so it can run at 3 cylinders, giving you the best and maximum gas mileage of this car. And that's also important when you're shopping for a vehicle. And you know, that's 2028 as far as the gas mileage, 20 in the city and 28 on the expressway. Let's check out this engine up close, and then we're going to check out the interior. Okay, engine bay, it's pretty simple. You know, if you've seen my Pilot, it's basically the same thing. It just doesn't have that tag that it's the Air Dreams. I don't know if they just gave up on that name, or it's not an Air Dreams engine. But what's interesting, I just noticed that it does have those 6 grooves. I believe that's for the number of cylinders. A lot of companies are doing that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that just tells you that it's a 6-cylinder engine. Side profile, hey guys, there's no hiding it. It is a minivan, a short hood, and the rest of it is basically a cargo and passenger space. But the engineers again made really hard to make it a little bit more funky, a little bit less boring than the regular minivan. And you can see that first of all by that window line right here. It goes up right here and then goes down in here as well as those 2 distinct body lines. One at the very top, that's pretty much a straight line, and then it follows the curvature of that window up here, and then the bottom one goes from here and then it goes up in here, so it kind of comes together at the very end. What else is on here? You can see that this one has a 19-inch wheels with all-season tires. The lower end models come with the 18-inch wheels. This is a touring version, so it's one of the highest trim levels. And I'm going to tell you what other trim levels are available. What else you can see on here? It's a little reflector light. The mirror caps are the body color with the LED signals on this chrome door handles. Again, this is a part of the higher trim levels. And you have, this is pretty interesting because all Hondas right now basically have that capless gas filler, so you don't have to open the cap. And I remember when I used to work for Honda, there were millions of people coming in with the problem saying, hey, my check engine light is on, and then they diagnosed it, and here it was, a loose gas cap could cause a check engine light. So Honda now have it capless. There is no cap. It closes by itself. All you have to do is open that door and stick that fueling nozzle in here. And this is the side profile of this car. It's a wallway on the side of this vehicle. Let me show you why most people would consider buying a minivan, and this is it. And no, it's not that fancy sliding door, power sliding door, although they're pretty cool, but it is the easiness of getting in and out of this car. You don't have to step up too much. You just basically sit and slide in, and here you go. Now, as far as the roominess, there is enough room between me and the driver in front. This seat as well is adjustable, so you can move it forward and backwards. And then I'm going to show you the rest of it. But before I do that, I want to show you another cool feature. Now you're concerned that your kids' hands are going to get caught in this. Trust me, I have 2 kids. I have those concerns too. So let me do this. Let me close this door, or start closing this door. Let me stick my hand in here. And so you can see, this is just my fingers. Okay, so the little hands will be enough to stop these doors and actually make them revert back so it don't hurt the kids' hands. Okay, so a couple cool things about this. Now the seats are 3 in the middle, 3 in the back, and 2 in the front, so it is an 8-seater. You can do a couple things. You can first, this is how you remove the seat. Fold the seat back down, unlock the back, and then this whole seat can come up. Now if you just want to move it forward, okay, this lever right in the back moves the seat forward, gives you enough room to get in the back seat. I'm in the back seat. All I have to do is lock this back into position, and I gotta tell you, I have enough room in here, definitely more than in my Pilot. So that's why a lot of people are choosing minivans, for the roominess of it. And I don't know if 3 adults would fit comfortably in the back, but there's certainly enough room for at least 2. How to open this back up? There's a little loop right in the back. Pull it up, move it forward. You get enough room to get out. Check out the configuration of the seats. Right now, there's 3 seats in here. Now you can remove the middle seat, or you can remove the middle and the side, or you can remove all 3 of them. However you would like to configure it, depending on what you have to carry in the car, there's certainly enough room for that. You can close the door by pulling on the handle, And now this is probably going to be a better, see, I have my fingers right here, just the tips of the fingers. Goes, touches it, and it moves back. Okay, great safety feature, especially with the kids. What else we have on the interior here? So you can see this one is equipped with the 10-inch screen right here for your DVD system. Great feature, especially if you have little ones. I mean, this is the base babysitter you can have. And it also has a little camera right here. This is for what they call a cabin watch, and I'll show you that when we go through the infotainment system as well. So we're done with the second row of seats. Let's check out the back and let's see how much room is there. All right, so the back side of this vehicle, you can see it's got this kind of cool spoiler right above the rear glass. It does have this big brake light on it, the windshield wiper, and this trim that kind of combines the two lights. Now the two lights got this kind of fork signature that they have on some other vehicles right now. You can see them on the Accords, you can see them on the Pilots, and this is the piano black trim with chrome Honda emblem here, Odyssey. You have some of the parking sensors in the back bumper, as well as the reflector lights at the bottom of it. So you can open this gate several different ways. One of this is to hold the button on the remote, which I'm gonna do right now, and we're gonna see how much room there is inside of here. So you can't see it, but I'm gonna demonstrate it by doing this. Okay, so I'm here, the third row seat are up. I can sit in here. Look how deep it is. I can fit in here comfortably. So this is maybe not an 8-seater. Well, 8-seater, well, if you can call this seat, you can fit 2 people in here, so maybe 10-seater. It's illegal, don't do it. But it's possible. There's a lot more room that can be done in this Odyssey once you fold down the third row seats. And the way you do it is really simple. I'll show it to you right now. But the way you fold down the seats, you basically pull on here and the seats will fall into place, and now it has this flat area where you can put a lot of stuff in it. Let's give you a close-up of it, because there's a couple cool features that I want to point out while we're in here. All right, so one thing I want to point out is, first of all, it has the light for the third row seat. Okay, it does have 3 seat belts in the back. One of them is stored right above here. It does have a USB charging port. It does have a headphone jack and the volume control on both sides. So if you have 2 extra kids in the back, it comes with 2 sets of wireless headphones, and then you can plug in your regular headphones in the third row seat and have the kids watch their favorite movies on that 10-inch screen in the front. Vents, this is important. I think I reviewed one of the vehicles, maybe it was a Mazda, that didn't have the vents in the third row seat. Now there's vents for the third row seats on both sides. There's also a power outlet if they need to charge up their phone or tablet or anything like this. Speaker in the back, some cubby holes for extra storage. Now this doesn't have a Honda vac, but the Touring Elite version of this vehicle actually comes equipped with a vacuum cleaner. And trust me, if you have kids, you know, you'll need that vacuum cleaner probably more than you think. So this is the third row seat, plenty of room. You can remove those seats, and now there is enough room here to fit tons of stuff. I mean, you can probably fit like a 4x8 sheet of plywood. Maybe not, it doesn't look like exactly 4 feet, but I should probably measure it and check it out. But those 3 seats can be removed, and this is that third seat console. You can transform that third seat into just a console for the 2 people in the back. So let's check out the front. So before we get inside, as always, I want to check out and make sure that the door sounds solid, and it does. Honda doesn't disappoint. You know, even though it's not a German cars get these really heavy doors. This one probably has the best sounding door close in the industry. This one also is equipped with that keyless entry. I mean, you basically press this button. As long as the key fob is somewhere on you, you can press this button to lock and unlock it, and then okay, it's unlocked. 1 beep lock, 2 beeps unlock. Let's check out the door before we get inside. And so what's interesting about this door, that it's almost like multi-dimensional. There's nothing straight and like kind of plain about it. You can see that there's this trim, there's these trims at the bottom, door handle, this is your window controls, mirror controls, lock and unlock, 2 memory seats, door handle. This is actually their new color. That's the piano black for 2021, the trim that they didn't have before. But there's tons of other like nooks and crannies that you can fit stuff in here. Like there's one right here, I'm not sure for what, maybe a cell phone. There is a little cup holder right in the front of it. This, I don't know, maybe for a lipstick or whatever you want to use it for. And then there's ones at the bottom. There's a speaker here as well. So let's check out the interior of it. It's probably going to be easier to check out the couple features from here. So we can check out, this is the way to open the sliding door. So the driver has control of both sliding doors, and you can turn that power feature on or off. If this is off, the doors, you can open them manually. This is your power gate, this is your traction control off. This is the button where it's displays like a shortcut for all of your driver assist features. This is your parking sensors off or on, and this is your electronic parking brake, and there is a brake hold button. Brake hold button, basically, if you push the brake pedal, even if you're at the light and the car is in gear, it will hold the vehicle until you press accelerator. All right, so let's check out the interior of this minivan, and there's nothing that's boring about it. Take a look at this. It's got this nice multi-function steering wheel, and it's got the Honda emblem on here. It's about the same as on my Pilot. It's got the controls on both sides. One of them controls basically the cruise control, and this is for that adaptive cruise control, and you can set up the distance between you and the vehicle that you're following. It also has the lane keep assist, and this is to set the cruise control button on. On this side, you have controls for basically the menu that's on that display. We're going to turn that on just in a second, but I want to point out something that's pretty cool. Look at this. It does have pedal shifter. How cool is that? Now the minivan has pedal shifters. Hey, I don't know how sporty it can be, but that 280 horsepower is nothing to sneeze about. Now for sure you're not gonna, you know, sit right next to a sports car and say, hey, you wanna go, buddy? No, but this is something that's interesting. So let's turn it on, and this is one of the cool features too. Press the brake pedal. Okay, the engine start stop button lights up in what color? White, right? You press it, engine starts, and it turns red. So any Honda and Acura, if you see that that engine start stop button is red, it means the car is on, the engine is running. All right, check out this. Okay, because this is your main control. Very simple. On the left hand side you have the temperature gauge, on the right hand side you have a gas gauge. In the middle here, right at the very top, you see the tachometer, so you can see that the RPMs are about 1,000 right now or so. You can see the big P, that means you're in park, and the 0 means that we're stopped, there's no miles per hour. Now we're in the home screen right here, so that's basically tells you you can choose this feature. So you can choose trip computer, and that basically will tell you your average fuel range, your average fuel consumption, which, you know, this car's got right now 12 miles on it, so that's not very accurate. Actually, it's a lot more fuel efficient than this, but you can go back, you can select your phone. If there's a phone connector, it's going to tell you that there's a phone connection. Navigation system, right now it's compass, but if you do set your navigation, well, it's going to tell you the turn-by-turn direction right here. And now playing or maintenance. So tire pressure, you can see tire pressure on each individual wheel. Oil life, right now we're at the 100%. So again, this is a brand new vehicle. So that's it. That's the middle screen. And you control this through using these arrows up and down and enter to select. Now the Honda infotainment system has been changed a little bit. It is the same as on my 2019 Pilot, so if you've seen that review, it's going to be boring, but, well, it's going to be boring to you because you've seen that before, but it's actually pretty cool. So home, okay, navigation for rear entertainment settings, FM, AM, Bluetooth, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Those are all standard equipment on this vehicle. You can see all apps, you know, in the alphabetical order if you would like to do it this way. I like the big tile setup in here. Navigation, Garmin navigation, but it's super cool, super easy to use. All you have to do is press this button right here and then type in the address that you want to go to. That's your navigation system. As far as phone, you connect your phone. Rear entertainment, this is where you control your rear entertainment system. Now rear entertainment is off, you can turn that on, and it gives you the ability to choose of which media is going to be playing. Now there's no media servers connected, but you can actually put in your Blu-ray disc and it's going to play the Blu-ray disc. You can connect your phone even if you'd like to. I do that all the time. I connect my phone through the HDMI to outlet and play YouTube videos for my kids, so I don't have to subscribe to any of the Wi-Fi spots or high spots, however you want to call it. So that's your media. Settings, okay, system connection, vehicle settings. Let's see what we can change. Driving position setup, okay, seat position memory at entry, moves the seats rearward when you get in. Memory position link on or off. Bluetooth audio, that's self-explanatory. You can connect Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Trip computer, it actually displays SMS messages for you if you're driving, so you don't have to look at your phone. Auxiliary output, let's go back. AM, FM, there's system updates. Those are over the air, unable to update because we're not connected to the network. You can do it via wireless or via USB, your choice. Let's go back here. And my music, my Honda music, clock. And one of the things I talked to you about when I looked in the middle seat is the cabin watch, and that basically turns on the camera and it shows you what's happening in the second and third row seats. So nobody's sitting here right now, but if people were sitting there, you can actually see and you can talk to them. Now you can talk to the speakers if you have the highest end model. You can talk to the headphones if they're watching the movie or preoccupied with something else, playing games. You can talk to their headphones and they'll be able to hear that. So that's a pretty cool feature on this Honda. So that's your infotainment system. Right at the bottom here you have the front climate, rear climate, so you can control either the setup in here, okay, and this shows up on the screen. This is your fan speed. You can select it to whichever you want. This is the vent that the air is coming out of, and this is the rear climate. Now this is a tri-zone climate control, so it has the driver passenger in the front, and the third climate control zone is for the rear passenger. So hit that up again. Again, you can have it auto, you can have it locked. So there's another panel in the back that passenger can change that. But if you have kids, you know, sometimes they want to change it just to change it. So so them stop being annoying, you can actually turn that on and not have that. And have a display of the temperature settings for the front, the driver, passenger in the rear, and you can change the temperature here. Now this vehicle is a touring model, so it does have a heated seat in the front for both driver and passenger, and this is the 3-stage heater, so it goes from the lowest to the highest. The Touring Elite would also add ventilated seats. Now what this is, you can turn off your automatic start and stop engine. If you stop at the light, it will not stop the engine. Snow, it's pretty cool because if you have this in the snow mode, what the vehicle is going to do is going to start in the second gear, and it's going to adjust the dynamics of the vehicle, so increase the traction control, all stuff like this, so you are safe to start in the snow without actually digging into the snow. Econ, again, it's going to adjust the settings of the vehicle for the maximum fuel economy, and that also means actually adjusting your heating, ventilating, air conditioning to the most soft settings, if you will, so they're not gonna it's gonna be actually in the eco mode as well. And then the other thing that you have is you have the hazard lights right here. That's it. Now this is your gearbox. This is where you switch your gears. So parking, okay, reverse, and when you do that, let's check out the rear camera right there. Okay, 3 seconds for rear view camera. No surround view camera, which is kind of my pet peeve. Love to have it, but it's not here. This is your cross traffic monitoring alert. That's a pretty cool option. Park, let's turn that off. You can set it in neutral, and this is DNS. What that means, it's the regular drive mode and the sport mode. Now the sport mode in the Odyssey, it kind of sounds funny, but it actually does change the dynamic of the vehicle and the way that the vehicle shifts gears, so it actually is a little bit sportier. What I like about this interior too, let's check out the rest of it here. So this is your Blu-ray player, right? Nothing fancy about it. This at the bottom right here, you have extra chargers. So you have 2 extra outlets for, this is your regular household plug that you can plug in any of the household equipment. Now don't plug in the hair dryer because it is only 150 watt, but it's still more than most of the other ones. Your regular 12 volt power outlet and your USB charger. Look how much room you have here. Tons of room for ladies, especially if you want to put your purse not on the floor but on this little console right here. You have 2 big cup holders, another place to put your phone. Now the Elite would have the wireless charging, this one doesn't, but the Elite would have the wireless charging. And also you have tons of room in here, so there's another storage and another power outlet for your auxiliary, as well as the USB for charging something. This is the interior of it. New feature for the Odyssey is also that blue ambient lighting. I hope you can see that right above that engine stop start button. There is a little bit of that, and that continues underneath that brushed aluminum trim, as well as on the door. So it looks actually pretty cool on at night. As far as the seats, look at this. The seats are nicely, these are appointed with leather, so they're nice and comfortable, and you have a big glove box here as well. So this is your Odyssey. This is the interior. A couple things above your head, what you can see is the light control. This is your sunroof control. This is your Honda link. This is your assist, kind of like an OnStar. You push that button, it's going to connect you to a live operator. In case of emergency, it's going to send out the emergency response. Probably one of my favorite features on the car is this mirror right here. Hi guys. And that's basically because it gives you the ability to see what's going on in the back. Now this is what that cabin watch button is, but for those who don't have it, for the lower trims, I mean, you can still see what's going on in the back by just opening it halfway. If you open it full way, this is your sunglasses holder. If you open it halfway, and here it is, this is the back of it. So sunroof, that's basically your interior of it. Now let's take it for a spin and see how sporty it can be. So we're sitting here in this car, I'm ready to take it for a spin. I just realized that we haven't talked about different trims and levels of this vehicle that it's available with. And one thing that I want to point out, with Honda it's really easy, because no matter where you at in the United States, if you buy a Honda Odyssey Touring, such as this one, is going to be equipped in the same exact way. It could have an extra surcharge for certain colors, and might have a different interior color and trim, and that's it. Now as far as all the standard features, it's going to be the same on all the touring models, and you can't really package it up like you can with most of the Toyotas or Nissans or Chrysler, any other manufacturer. It's basically package based where you can build your own. Hondas, it is what it is, but they're available with so many different levels that I think everybody has the ability to choose what they like. And I have my helper here, my cell phone, of course. So Honda starts with the LX. That's their base trim level, and that starts at about $31,790 plus your destination. So the EX model, then, you know, will have that power sliding doors that have the blind spot information system. EXL, which is basically an EX with leather interior, it's going to have the leather wrapped steering wheel, power tailgate, one-touch power moonroof, and it's going to be at $38,460. The EX, by the way, is $35,190. The Touring, which is this one right here, it's about $42,500. There's a couple trim, there's a couple colors that are extra, $300 or so, and that's about it. And then the Elite, that basically adds that Honda vac that I was telling you about, the actual vacuum cleaner in the car, hands-free access for the power tailgate, wireless phone charger, and 11 speaker premium audio.
Boys, painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One great.
All right, I don't know if I need to listen to this anymore, but the stereo sounds good enough. Let's put it this way. Not staticky, it's nice and clean. And this was just a regular radio. The only thing left is really take it for a spin and see how this vehicle handles. And like I said, the personal story that we had with the Honda Odyssey is we actually had a 2014 Honda Odyssey. We really liked this because it was perfect vehicle for, you know, our growing family at that time, 2 dogs and the kids. And when my wife was 6 months pregnant, we were driving on the road and we were violently hit, T-boned basically, right in that front right wheel by a lady who was coming out from a side street at almost 50 miles per hour without hitting the brake pedals, full force. So the vehicle accepted the full force of the hit. We all lived to talk about it. The baby's fine. My kids are both fine, so no issues here. But, you know, we didn't come out without injuries. There's some injuries that we sustained through with this accident, but I believe that it was any other car, the outcome could have been a lot worse. The vehicle was totaled, of course. I'm posting a picture right now. So as you can see, there was a pretty serious accident, and I have a big trust in Honda brand just because of stuff like this. And since I worked at a Honda dealership before, you know, I've heard stories upon stories of people coming out with no injuries, little injuries from really bad accidents. So safety is definitely there. If you're looking for a safe vehicle, this one's always been one of the top rated vehicles on the road. Take this for a spin. Let's check out the turning diameter first. So my archaic way of checking this out is basically counting the parking spots. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. 4.5, considering the size of this vehicle, is about probably close to 200 inches, 198 or so. It's pretty darn good. It feels good turning it. You have a great visibility. As I mentioned before, those side windows by the mirrors make a whole lot of difference, because before in a lot of minivans you couldn't see anything between the front mirror and the front pillar. Okay, so we're gonna check out the acceleration really quick and see, you know, how this vehicle is gonna handle in a real life situation. I really can care less about that 0 to 60 or, you know, whatever the performance aspect is. As a consumer who's looking for a minivan, my biggest concern is whether it's going to have enough power to merge into traffic and keep up with it or not. And we're gonna check that out right now, so let's go. Okay, so certainly enough power to merge into traffic, and as you can see, we caught up with the car in front of us pretty quickly, and this is a fairly busy street, fairly quick street, so this is a real life situation. Now let's put it in the sport mode and see how that's going to change. You can see the vehicle kind of, I don't know if you can hear it, downshifted, not downshifted, but the engine started being louder. And so even from the get-go, not from the stop, but from the vehicle is going, you can feel the difference, and the engine is holding on to the gears a little bit longer, so it's going to give you that better acceleration and better performance on the car. Now, because we're not in the sports car, I can care less about it and put it in the regular drive mode. Now I want to see if those pedal shifters are real. So okay, I'm downshifting 3. Oh, you can hear that downshift. Okay, let's go up. 4, 5, 6. So yes, these are real. These might be for the dads who are buying these cars and are still in the stage of a sporty car, so they want to play around with them. They can certainly do that. I wouldn't expect you to break any kind of speed records or anything like this, but with all that said, it drives really good. It's very comfortable, it's very roomy. Like I mentioned before, that huge windshield makes a lot of difference. I mean, you can see everything. I mean, yes, I like the SUVs, and that's one of the reasons why we went with the Pilot, because it's kind of the same but sits up higher, and it gives you that extra few inches of the view. So I mean, we've decided to go with Pilot, plus it's an all-wheel drive. So if there were one or two things that I would complain about Honda not having or lacking, one, it would be the all-wheel drive system. They have the technology, obviously they have the Pilot, the Passport, the Ridgeline, which have that four-wheel drive system, and why not put it in the Odyssey? Why not offer it as an option? Toyota does. At least it did. I'm not sure if the newest one that just came out or is about to hit dealerships within the next few days or so, which I'm hoping to get on this channel soon as well. But they have the all-wheel drive option. Right now, I think it's the perfect kid hauler. It's the perfect carpool vehicle. It's the perfect vehicle for multi-people families who need lots of roominess, maybe have a lot of luggage, maybe have dogs, maybe have elderly people that they need to take care of, because it's a lot easier for them to slide in those middle row seats than trying to climb up to an SUV. And the performance of it, everything about this car is perfect for the minivan. So I think it still holds the crown of the best minivan on the market, and Honda's been making those. They weren't the first by any means. I think Chrysler was the first one in the minivan market and still the top selling vehicle as far as minivans, but Honda quickly caught up. Now they had the Odysseys that first came up, I believe in 94, 95, based on the Accord platform, and those were the ones with the middle door still opening, just a regular car door. They were 4-cylinder engines, 2.4 liter, I believe, Accord engines. Great cars, just weren't roomy enough. Now the 98 was the first model year, and I remember when we got the first shipment and people were basically coming in left and right, buying them, ordering them. Great vehicles. They remain the top selling, one of the top selling minivans on the market till now. There's only a few left that are available to purchase. Everybody else came, kind of gave up on the minivan market, and I still think there's a market for these type of vehicles. So if you're looking for one, certainly consider the Honda Odyssey. I borrowed this one from Castle Honda in Morton Grove, Illinois, and they were nice enough to let me film it. So check out their inventory, check out their website. I'm going to post a link in the description of this video. This concludes the test drive of this vehicle. I just want to mention one more thing, guys. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. As of the day that I'm recording this video, I have 250 subscribers. Hopefully by the time you're watching it, it's more. Consider subscribing. I really appreciate every single one of you who subscribe to this channel. If you like to talk about cars or watch car reviews, hit that like, subscribe button. If you know anyone who is into cars, hit the share link and make sure you share it with your friends or family or somebody that's looking for a car or just like to listen about it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.